The actions of the Lai Ching-te authorities have made more and more Taiwanese people see his true colors. The opposition Kuomintang and the Taiwan People's Party have formed a blue-white alliance and announced that they will jointly impeach Lai Ching-te. This comes just over half a year after Lai Ching-te took office. According to multiple media reports in Taiwan, the blue and white parties held a joint press conference on the 19th and announced the formal submission of a proposal to impeach Lai Ching-te, the leader of the Taiwan authorities. The news immediately caused an uproar. The trigger for this shocking political storm in the island directly points to the Official Revenue and Expenditure Division Act, which the Democratic Progressive Party authorities regard as a constraint. For a long time, the DPP authorities have resisted reasonable amendments to this law in order to hold on to resources, using them as chips for political patronage and local control. However, with the formation of a small ruling party and large opposition situation in the current legislative body of the Taiwan authorities, the blue-white camp jointly passed a bill amendment resolution, but under Lai Ching-te's instruction. Cho Young-I, the head of Taiwan's executive body, actually dared to defy public opinion and refused to promulgate it. Lai Ching-te himself even refused to announce the relevant regulations. This blatant act of placing executive power above the legislative body and openly trampling on procedural justice has not only broken the decades-long political tacit understanding in Taiwan as political arena, but also essentially declared that Lai Ching-te is attempting to rule the Taiwan region in the posture of a dictator. Lai Ching-te's reckless behavior has directly enraged the opposition forces, making the Kuomintang and the Taiwan People's Party, which originally had differences on many issues, instantly stand in the same trench and launch a life or death struggle against Lai Ching-te. Why choose to act at this time? The timing is quite intriguing. Lai Ching-te has only been in office for just over half a year. Logically, he should be in the honeymoon period of his administration, but the report he has delivered is a complete mess. Domestically, he has resorted to green terror, using judicial tools to purge dissidents, leaving people on the island in a state of panic. Externally, he stubbornly adheres to the Taiwan independence stance, colluding with external forces such as the United States and Japan to constantly provoke, leading to imminent military conflict in the Taiwan Strait. At this moment, public grievances on the island have accumulated to a critical point. 1.35 million netizens signed in support of the impeachment in an extremely short time, even crashing the network server. This shows how unpopular the Lai authorities are. By raising the banner of impeachment at this time, the blue-white camp is not only responding to the will of the Taiwanese people, but also seizing on Lai Ching-te's weak nature of being politically unsteady and besieged on all sides, preparing to deliver a heavy blow to shatter the DP authorities' arrogant political facade. Of course, we must objectively view the realistic trajectory of this impeachment case. Under the current political structure in the Taiwan region, the hope of truly removing Lai Ching-te from office through legal procedures can be said to be very slim. According to relevant regulations, although the impeachment case only requires the proposal of one half of the legislators to be initiated, as the blue-white camp can easily accomplish with their seat advantage, the subsequent thresholds are much higher. It not only needs the resolution to be passed by more than 2/3 of the legislators, but also ultimately has to clear the hurdle of the Grand Justices. As we all know, the vast majority of the current Grand Justices are loyalists nominated during the DPP's tenure. Expecting them to make an impartial ruling is tantamount to asking a tiger for its skin. Therefore, from a purely legal and technical perspective, this impeachment case will most likely be blocked outside the Constitutional Court in the end, or even deadlocked at the legislative voting stage due to the DPP's frantic counterattack. Since it is difficult to directly overthrow the DP regime, has this massive impeachment campaign become a futile effort? The answer is clearly no. The move by the blue and white parties is actually like Xiang Zhuang dancing with a sword, with the real intent on pay gong even if it cannot legally remove Lai Ching-te from office immediately. Politically, it is already a devastating blow to Lai Ching-te's authority. Once the impeachment case is initiated, it will become an indelible stain on Lai Ching-te's political career. More importantly, according to regulations, if impeached, Lai Ching-te will be forced to attend the legislative body to explain himself. A public humiliation for the always arrogant Lai Ching-te. If he goes, he will have to face a barrage of questions from the opposition parties, and all his ugly acts of violating the Constitution and disrupting governance will be exposed to the spotlight. If he does not go, he will confirm the charges of contempt for public opinion and a guilty conscience, and the legitimacy of his rule will further collapse. In any case, this impeachment has completely torn off Lai Ching-te's fig leaf, revealing the ugly face of the DPP authorities to the whole world. Although this impeachment may not directly end the DPP's rule, the political tsunami it has triggered is enough to make the Lai Ching-te authorities' governing path extremely difficult, reducing them to a lame-duck regime completely. For Lai Ching-te, the crisis has only just begun. If he continues to ignore public opinion and stubbornly rush down the dead end of Taiwan independence, he will face historical reckoning. This impeachment drama jointly staged by the blue and white parties may well be the first death knell tolling for Lai Ching-te.